Can the Fed fix inflation? There is no chance. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, the 18th of September. And what is going on, everybody? Well, as we asked, can the Fed fix it? No. All the Fed can do is fuck it up more. Okay? The Fed is a worthless organization, a cartel, okay, that is basically no different than a drug cartel or anything else. They're continuing to steal our money and create taxation without representation, and they have no interest in truly fixing the economy. They have an interest in supporting the government, even though they're supposed to be a private organization. They have no interest in helping you and me. Okay, that is pretty simple. That has been their MO since the beginning, to destroy the middle class. And they're doing one hell of a job right now as we look at it, okay? And of course, in what is absolutely no help to Americans, okay, is this allowing of the illegal immigration, the busing them to different states. They should not be allowed in, okay? If you want to change the way that we do things, I have no problem with it. If you want to speed up the citizenship process, I have no problem with that. But I do have a big problem with us paying for illegal immigration, for them using our hospitals as doctors' offices because they can't refuse and have to pay the bill. Okay. So yes, I am sick and tired of paying for illegal immigrants. We are no longer in the situation when it was kind of wink, wink, nod, nod that they would let them come in because they were cheaper labor at the time. That is no longer the case because the United States has now become a service industry country and not a manufacturing. We don't have as much manual labor. Okay. So we've changed over, but yet we're allowing double and triple the amount of illegal immigrants across the border. Many of them are criminals. Okay. Now they want to take away guns. They want to take away the ability for the individual to defend themselves. Okay. From now, there's some new laws coming out in some states that you can't get rid of trespassers. Okay. That they're letting people out of jail earlier. They're not making them serve. They're waiving bonds and bail. Listen, I love America, as you can see, okay? But I'm getting tired of the things that they're letting happen and the destruction that they're doing, the anger that they're creating, okay? The dissension among the ranks of different people, that we have to do something to become better, okay? Again, we can't just use the same old excuse, it's the greatest country in the world, because it is. But we have to be better. Okay. We cannot be weak as we are showing to Saudi Arabia, to China, to Russia. Okay. And every other nation around the world that is chuckling at what's going on here. And again, I said this last week. I'm going to remind you. Okay. Don't be surprised if oil prices suddenly drop going into the upcoming election, because certainly Saudi Arabia and the rest would love to see this administration reelected, okay? Because it's to their benefit, because they are sticking it to us plenty good, okay? And we're sitting here and taking it, okay? So remember, okay, there's always a reason, and life comes down to two things for everybody. One is always about money, okay? The White House is now starting to potentially release some regulations and some restrictions on the crypto world. I don't know what they are, but this is, again, they're going to try to defeat what the purpose of cryptocurrency is. Now, I don't think that they're going to be able to do a lot of regulations here, because it then does defeat what cryptocurrencies are, okay, which is free from intervention, free from devaluation other than through the free markets. I mean, the one true, real free market that we still have is the cryptocurrency world, okay? And if we let them take that away, what do you got? You got just another example of a crappy dollar, okay? Germany is in big trouble, okay? They got no heat. They got no fuel. They did seize the refining bins from Russia, okay? Russia's refineries that are there, but there's nothing in them, and they're not getting any. Now, I understand, I don't have this as factual, but I understand that we are now starting to provide some LNG and trying to help out a little bit, which is, again, what we have said here for, 2 years. Why stop fracking and shale producing until you have a plan? Okay. If you want to do green energy, if you want to go into a new type of fuel and try to clean up the environment, which you won't because we have record amounts of coal being burnt right now. But if that's your plan, why can't we have a plan like a business, okay, and allow Americans to continue to pay $2 a gallon for gas instead of $5 and continue to frack and shale produce until and take it down in stages instead of trying to take it down at one fall swoop when you do not have the capability to get where you want. And furthermore, how many people do you think have a lazy 100,000 laying around or more to put solar panels on their house and to buy an electric car? Okay, do you think that's easy when the average American doesn't have $400 in the bank? I mean, what are we nuts in this country? Okay, with the stupid, idiotic policies and the shutting down of industries that not only destroy jobs, destroy wealth, but destroy the middle class. President Obama did the same damn thing with coal in his administration. When, again, I have no problem. You don't want to burn coal? Great, don't burn coal. But at least educate the people that are there first, okay, that are born and bred to be coal miners, and give them an education. Everybody says, go learn how to code. Well, what do you think? Coding is easy? I don't, you get to my age, okay, it's not easy to just go change what you know how to do, okay? We gave up all of our factories. We gave up everything, okay? We became a service country, which I think is a mistake as well, okay? Now, FedEx is telling you straight out, okay, there's big problems, okay? Now, FedEx, the biggest shipper in the world, that means more than likely UPS is coming down. That means more likely Amazon's going to have to start charging for shipping or raising their prices. You don't think that this is just one company, do you? Especially when it's the biggest company in the world, okay, the biggest shipper in the world, FedEx. This is going to affect everything that you do. And what's that mean? It means that your inflation cost, your cost of living is going higher. And when we talk about recessions, okay, when we talk about recession, okay, forget about what the stupid ass economists tell you about what a recession is, okay? Forget about their moronic definition, okay, that 2 negative quarters of GDP. You know how you know when there's a recession? When you look in your own bank account and you can't afford to pay a bill because you're spending more than you're making, but it's not on luxury items, it's on cost of living. Okay, that's how you know that we're in a recession. And we've been in a recession long before the 2 negative quarters of GDP. Okay, that's how you know there's a recession. Look in your own bank account first. Okay, start at home and you'll find out. Okay, now I don't know about you, but I'm getting sick and tired of this Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, I'm tired, and I'm not tired of the war. I mean, listen, I don't want to see war, but of course, the banking system, the central banking system especially, likes war. It means that the rich can get richer for producing goods, rebuilding the country, and so on. However, okay, we are sending another $600 million in arms out of our pocket once again for what? Okay, this war shouldn't be going on. You want to stop it? Okay, produce oil. Put Russia under the gun, okay, instead of just handing out $600 million, which again, you and me, the taxpayer, get to pay for. Okay. Why not do it the right way and force Russia to end this war, which would then open up the food supply? Because again, we have global hunger. Okay. And now you have the imbeciles that want to charge a tax on meat. Meat's already expensive. Now they want to charge a tax on top of it because cow farting causes pollution. Okay. I think we should just invest in corks and stick a cork up the ass of every cow so that they can't fart. Okay. But again, you really think that this is going to change? Okay. You don't change with moronic ideas of how to change. You build a business plan on how you plan to get from one step to the next. Okay. Because, we have ridiculous inflation. Okay. Now, of course, the number last week we had CPI, PPI. They were worse than expected. Okay. And they're worse than they're telling us. And unfortunately, government has the right to revise and report some stupid ass number that is wrong. Okay. And then come out with another number. But you're not going to see a massive change until they need it to bring in some better news. Okay. So they're trying to hold out. And of course, we're hearing now all kinds of bankers telling us there's going to be a slowdown. You don't think that these bankers, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citigroup, didn't already know that the slowdown was coming and that they're not already prepared for it, and now they're putting it out into the public? Do they really think that we're that stupid that they're telling us now? We knew it was obvious that there's a slowdown. It is obvious that China is playing a much more advanced game, okay, by all of their shutdowns, by their stupid COVID, okay? Because again, whether you believe in COVID or not, I do not, okay? I've had it, okay? And it was no different than the cold or flu, which is what I thought. The numbers don't support that COVID exists. But again, if you believe in it, hey, no worries. But China is using it as a weapon. I personally believe they sent it here on purpose. It's been proven that it was a manufactured disease. I believe it was sent here on purpose. And yet, of course, we let them manufacture our prescription drugs still over there. Okay. And I believe they're using it now to advance their 100-year plan to take over and become the world power, trying to replace the United States. Now, that ain't going to be so easy. We are not going down without a fight. Okay. And we're not going down yet. Again, I don't want you to be panicked like it's over, but we have to be better. Okay. We have to be better than we've been. We cannot continue to rely on the same story that this is the greatest country in the world, because we know that already. But why shouldn't it be better? This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, September the 18th, and it's football night, football day, football night in America. In the meantime, we're going to step out here for a break. We'll be right back with our market report after the break. Well, kids, lots going on. Market's struggling. And of course, obviously, we've got some solutions for you. We've got two great partners in our brokerage side. Now, we have many brokers, but I have two great partners, and one being Tradier Brokerage. Listen, Tradier is $10 a month. That's number one. Number two, we can automate your trading with them. If you're either an equity member portfolio, you can license our software, which would auto trade for you as well. Okay. They're going to have Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies pretty soon that can be used in conjunction with your regular brokerage account, so the money doesn't get tied up and you have to come up with it. Okay. They are also sponsoring the live stream for our event in Las Vegas and the personal attendance, which means that even though the early bird is expired, Tradier will make up the $500 if you either become a new Tradier account, or you are presently a Tradier account. You can still get the early bird special for Vegas, which will be at Circa Hotel. It'll be the best 3 days of training you'll ever get in your life. And we'll be having a brand new money management system we're going to be teaching, which will be taught once only in Las Vegas in 2022. And of course, Capital Trading Group, what a great futures and commodities broker. The best service in the industry. They have 90% of my money. We're partners with them on Day Trader's Dream. They do great stuff, and the beautiful thing is they answer the phone when you need them. Check them out, info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And for both Trader and CTG, you can see there are links on the side. Of course, don't forget about our high school program. Well, it's getting harder and harder to get these schools to take it in for free that we pay for. Okay, but check it out. And we're going to get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horwitz, and of course, go through our market report. Let's get back to it right now. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, of course, September the 18th, and football tonight. Football today. All right. Anyways, so we had a pretty good week last week. We made money across the board, but again, at the end of the day, it's just about being on the right side. It's about being with the trend. It's about being with the market. And of course, last week we saw the dollar was higher for the week. And of course, we are still long dollars. The euro currency was lower for the week. And of course, we're still short euro currencies. Okay. And again, I believe that you're going to see 88 cents before it's all said and done, if not lower. Their economy is collapsing. They're like the Wicked Witch. They're melting. They have a little water poured on them. Bitcoin is flat. We are now going to be short Bitcoin as soon as we can roll it over, either tonight or tomorrow. And in the bonds and notes, they're getting clobbered. As we continue to tell you every single week, we are still short and they continue to get clobbered. I'm telling you that if the 10-year notes aren't 4% by the end of the year, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Okay. The 10 years are running, and it's always interesting to understand the function and how markets work. 5 years ago, many of the elderly and people that were on fixed income would have killed to get 4% and were forced into the stock market. Now they got the greed factor and they don't want the 3.5% to 4%. They're willing to fight it out in the markets. So we'll see. In the meantime, bonds and notes were short and they're getting hammered. They're going to test lows. Look for a bounce just for a couple of days, but expect to see much lower pricing. Gold and silver going in opposite directions. Okay. And it turns out we're long silver and short gold, and gold looks ugly. Okay. It looks like it's going to fail at every turn. Eventually, listen, and I've made it very clear I own physical gold. Okay. And I'm willing to buy it at any time. But it's not something I'm going to sell tomorrow. But from a trader standpoint, we've been short for months gold. In fact, we've been short since probably March. Okay. And I don't see any reason to buy it now. I would look to be a seller at 1,700 still, or again, if it ever gets back there. I think the next target is 1,600. Silver, on the other hand, is going up, and silver has broken to the upside. And platinum, which we don't trade, but we belong right now, it has worked up nicely. In the copper was down for the week again, and we're still short copper. Natural gas was lower for the week, and again at the end of the day. I think that natural gas, which we are short, okay, is again, it's a very dangerous commodity around this time of year, and it's interesting that it's going lower. But I do know that we resumed producing some, so we'll be short. I'm never fully 100% comfortable with that position, but it is what it is, and we'll be able to reverse if we need to. Okay, in the grain markets, okay, you saw grains. Kind of flattish, but look okay. We had WASD on Monday. There was some wild action. And I think that, again, they're showing very bullish tendencies. And I would say to you that if I were to predict by the end of the year, I could see $10 corn, $15 wheat, and $20 beans. Okay. And we are long across the board. Given my choice, that's the position I'd like to be in. However, again, if we were short, I'd have to be short based on the price action now, knowing that I'd be able to get back in. And in the protein complex, we are short feeder cattle, okay, but it's still very nicely priced for farmers. And we are long hogs and we are long fat cattle. But I don't see a dramatic amount of room for either. Okay, again, let's be clear. Okay, I don't think they're going, barring a disease that creates another shortage, I don't see them going dramatically higher from here. I just don't see them going lower. So I don't mind being long, But don't look for the next big home run here. I think you're pretty much into the upper levels where they can go, other than hogs have some room. But they've been very choppy, and we're going into, obviously, a historically lower price time of year anyways. Okay. In the sauce, you've got cocoa, which was lower again, and of course we remained short. Okay. You got sugar, which was lower, we remained short. You've got OJ, which has been running higher, and we're long. You've got cotton, which we're short, which, it's been a little bit of a whipsaw recently. We caught the entire run to the upside. We caught a big part of the downside, and now we're getting a little choppy. And I would expect commodities in general to be much higher, because it's also a great place for money to go. Okay, when it leaves the equity market. Okay, and coffee, we did reverse last week. And we are now short, and we'll see. Again, these commodities are interesting because there are so many components. These aren't companies, so they don't report earnings, but there are many components that go in to commodities. To be from fuel to fertilizer, to all the things. And a lot of fertilizers is made with fuels. So again, it's a very interesting thing of what's happening, and I fear for the small farmer, because these prices continue to rise. If the markets don't keep up with them, that could be somewhat problematic. Last week, again, you had a triple witching expiration on Friday. It wasn't much. It was pretty much of a buster. But and we don't get excited about triple witching expiration anymore. It really is not anything that is worth discussing. Just that it usually creates more volume. But it was interesting. This was a little bit lighter volume than normal. But if you look at the markets in general, I believe that we're in store for a 50 to 60% haircut. Okay. And again, it won't be tomorrow. It's not going to be in one day. I think that you're going to see some continued selling. I think you're going to see tremendous pressure. You've got a bad administration. You've got a bad Federal Reserve. Okay. Which is always bad. The Federal Reserve is always bad. And most administrations are always bad. This one just happens to be a little bit worse than most. Okay. But there's nothing that is all that exciting other than what may happen in the election, which, again, I'm not looking to replace anything, except I don't like it when either party is in full power. I want to see a mix. Then it doesn't really matter, okay, where we can get some open dialogue and open discussion instead of all the rest of this crap that goes along. In the meantime, look for the markets to be under pressure. Look for a bounce to sell. Don't try to sell them down into the hole. Look for a bounce to sell. I suspect we'll see a bounce in the next couple of days. That will be an opportunity to sell, which we'll give you on Bubba's Daily Update. In the meantime, we're going to step out here for a final break and come back with our commentary and, of course, our football picks. Bubba's Bottom Line. Well, kids, again, I'm not going to go through all the details. Know that my sponsors are on the side, okay? But I do want to remind you about the Vegas event. It's live streaming, okay, which is $9.97, and in person for $14.97. But if you have a Trader account or open a Trader account, you can pay $500 for the live stream, or you can pay $9.97 to come in person. And in person includes 3-day seminar, okay, very good, the best teaching you'll ever get, and it includes breakfast and lunch every day. In the meantime, don't forget about our high school program. And now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horwitz. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line, and of course, every week I give you my commentary. And who knows? I never know what I want to say. I got so many things to comment on, but I think it's time that I comment on Vegas, since I am a resident here and I'm here all the time. And it's amazing the destruction, and maybe it's not destruction. Maybe it's the ignorance of people that gamble. Okay. Now I gamble, right? But I think I gamble with an edge. But, when you look at what's going on now, and you go to the strip, okay, they pay 6-5 on blackjack instead of 3-2. Now that doesn't sound like much, but it is a big deal. It's a big deal. And the more you play, the bigger the deal it becomes. Okay. And you go off the strip, you go downtown, you get 3-2. Okay. Then you have, now they've added 000 to the roulette wheel. Okay, which is, again, doesn't sound like much. 1 out of 36 numbers. It's a big deal. Okay, it's another big deal. It's another way to lose more money. Okay, and of course, I was playing video poker on Friday, down on the strip because I had a meeting. And I'm looking and I'm going, wait a second, these payouts aren't even the same. So they've shortened the payouts on video poker as well, which is another crime. It's not that they don't have the edge mathematically on every single thing they do. It's not like they don't make money in every department. Okay. And I think it's time, like everything else in America, I think it's time people stood up and said, screw you. You want me to pay these stupid resort fees? You want to rip me off? You want to rip me off in the restaurant? You want to rip me off at every spot that you can? And you're making a fortune in the casino as well? To me, that is really pushing the envelope, okay, to take away, because basically all they're really doing is stealing the money, because most people have no clue anyways. So now they're just stealing because most people are handing their money over anyways. Just remember, okay, at least when you do play, try to get somewhat of an edge. It's like trading, okay, and fight with the casino, but don't just give it, just don't hand it over to them. They make enough money, okay, and it's enough that they keep taking away little bits and pieces quietly that most don't even pay attention to. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, and of course it is football night tonight, or today, and of course we like a couple of games today. We like the Miami Dolphin against the Baltimore. Okay, actually I like them both plus the 4 or 3.5 and on the money line. Okay, the big hot play this week was New Orleans against Tampa Bay because they've beaten them, or Tom Brady's never beaten them. We actually like Tampa Bay laying the 3 in this game here. Okay. And, I think that other than that, it's going to be quiet as we continue to evaluate what's going on. So we got 2 plays for you, and we'll see you back here tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update. In the meantime, have a great day, everybody. Have a great weekend. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, September the 18th. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later.